Hey, good morning, family. So, Reginald Martin here of Metaphysics Sacred Alchemy, and where ancient wisdom becomes modern awakening. So, have you ever felt like things just weren't working? Like you was doing it all, everything that you have been taught that you're supposed to do to manifest, but it just isn't working. Something's just not right. You know, you ever get discouraged? And I want to talk to a person that basically that's what they were going through, or that's what they are going through. And I want to say to them that I completely understand, okay? Because they said they've been visualizing, they've been meditating, they've been doing all the things that the prescription says, that we're supposed to do, all the things, but life just still is not lining up, and the manifestations still aren't happening like they want them to. And man, I have been there, and even knowing all that I know, family, there's still those cycles that we go through, and there's just still those times where, you're so locked in on a certain way of thinking that you can't get out of your own way, and I know that that's happened with me, and I was explaining how I have, I went through a phase where things have started to crater for me. And it was because I set in motion these negative thought processes, based on some things that I was doing. And it made me, it made me start to really think negative things. I knew what was happening, but it kept things just kept flowing that way. It was like I couldn't stop it, And once it started to go in negative, then I started to imagine all the negative possibilities that could happen if everything kept going that way. If I kept if the negative things started to happen. Well, sure enough, family, that's exactly what happened. And I'm knowledgeable, family. I'm very knowledgeable about this stuff. And part of the reason I'm very knowledgeable is because all the struggles that I have been through, in order to overcome them, I still had to come back and lean on this knowledge that I have, And what I ended up recognizing at some point was that it's still, nobody was going to save me. I guess that's the point that I had to come to. There was nobody else outside of me. Jesus wasn't coming. Jehovah wasn't coming. It was going to be up to me. But what ended up happening was that I started the catastrophic thinking. And it led to more catastrophic thinking until the catastrophe happened, okay? Once the catastrophe happened, then it was like, oh, well, shit, it's happened now, And at that point, I just had to let everything else go. There was nothing else worse that could happen. But I went through a mentality of, I don't want to hear about positive thinking shit. I don't want to hear about, you're the creator of your reality. I don't want to hear none of that because I didn't ask for none of this. Family, this is me talking. I know this stuff. All right. But I still have my cycles. We all do, family. It's a natural thing. But this is the reality of the situation, is that you are empowered to make change when you know the knowledge and you practice it. Because no matter what I was going through, I still came back to, I am the creator of it, And I totally and completely know that that is true for me, you know? I know that beyond a shadow of a doubt, because just as the negative stuff happened, and I know I created, the positive things happen too, you know? And I know I create them. I can, because I'm a scientist of this stuff, okay? I know where things veered off. I can diagnose it, you know? I can diagnose the issue. So I know that even though I might be visualizing the positive, underneath I'm still like, you know, reliving, or I won't say reliving, I'm projecting that negative catastrophe. That's what I was doing, you know, just day in and day out, you know. Even if I had days where I could stave off that negative thought process, or those negative thoughts, there would still be days that they would just come back. They would flood back. Something would happen to make me start to relive, or I keep saying relive. That's a Freudian slip, because in my mind, we are living that stuff. We're just living it in our minds. But if something would happen that would make me go back to the catastrophic line of thinking, okay? And it would just, and it would be strong emotions behind it, okay? You know, so that was the other part. But in the end, when the catastrophe happened, it was like a dam broke, you know, and all the stuff that I had, all the catastrophic thinking that I was doing, it happened. Now it was like, well, where do I go from here? You know, what do I do? Family, I had some dark days around that, okay? I mean, I was like, well, shit, you know, if this is still gonna happen, and you know, I'm doing all this, then what's the point, you know? So it was some dark days. But again, it was just the little thing that I knew was to find some sliver of joy and peace in that moment that could just kind of like start to turn the tide, you know? And again, it's not like flipping a switch where all of a sudden you're happy-go-lucky. It was just a small thing, you know? And like I said, for me before, it was just researching, you know, just taking some time to get into researching some things, and just losing myself in the research and just enjoying learning, you know? So that was just a little sliver. So just doing that, following that one small, simple principle, just follow your joy, or let joy be your guide, it started to lift me out of that darkness. That light of joy started to lift me out of the darkness, okay? So it was just a little thing. But once I did turn that tide, then I wasn't doing the catastrophic thinking anymore, because it had happened. So, you know, the worst thing that I thought about had happened, and I survived it, okay? So it was like, damn, I'm still here. Okay, now what? Okay, so I didn't even, you know, I still, there was some times that I still might be angry or mad, but then I was like, well, what are you angry and mad for? Shit, you here. So, you know, do something different. And family, that's what I just started doing. Was, again, I just started, you know, just doing some things that I enjoyed, you know, just day after day. No more catastrophic thinking, because the worst thing that was possible, I was already in it, you know, and it wasn't that bad. So that's you know, it's just those little slivers of hope sometimes. And I'm careful about that hope thing, because, you know, if you stay on hope, that keeps it out there. But just that little sliver of a possibility that something could be different. And I didn't think about the negative stuff anymore. And then I could just start to focus on other things that would be positive, okay? That makes sense. So, so to my family, that's going through it right now, trust me when I say I get it. And trust me, knowing all this knowledge, having all this knowledge, I still have my shit that I go through. You know, it's just part of the game, because family, I'm always stretching, I'm always trying to do, not just trying to do something, it's just my nature that I'm going to create something more and different, and I just enjoy being creative, okay? So all of that, it happens, and I understand when you're down and you're not out though, but I get it, and I've been there. But this is the thing I recognize. Jesus wasn't coming to save me. Wasn't nobody coming to save me. I had to take it on myself and be that creator, and create what I needed to do. Even after the catastrophe, it was then just managing what I needed to do to take care of me, So again, I get it. And the person was saying they don't feel like, they just want to keep going. And again, been there, done that. I know what it feels like, okay? I know what it feels like. But you got this. You can do this. You can switch it around. But it's gonna take you having to switch it around, family. It's gonna take you having to change your thought processes and change your focus, all right? Because right now, your focus is on the worst things that could possibly be. That's what's keeping you down low, okay? So you gotta try to refocus on something else. Is it easy? No. It's not always easy. But you gotta understand that you gotta be able to do that for yourself, and nobody else can, okay? So that's a major understanding of this, family. It's just, you are your savior. You are the God in training. And this is just part of your training. How to come out of these tailspins, okay? Because it happens. It might not be the last one. If you're somebody that really goes after a lot, somebody that really enjoys being creative, doing different things, trying different things, you're gonna go through different things. It's just part of the process, okay? So you got this, family. Come on out of that. You are a god or goddess in training, and you got this shit. You can take it and run with it, and create the life that you desire. All right, family? All right, family. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on my walk. So this is Reginald Martin of Metaphysics Sacred Alchemy. Out!